It was going on, Double Tap family. Welcome back. Finally, I think
Finally.
it's been 6 weeks or better.
Yep.
I know it's been a long damn time, and we are very sorry about the wait, but it is a lot of moving parts to move from California to Texas. Start a new job, remodel a house, do all with all the fixins. So we're here today. We're going to give you a hell of a show. We're going to go over everything from Christmas to Kyle Rittenhouse to barbecue to hunting. Just a plethora of information. We're going to spew it all at you. Coming up right after this.
Buckle up.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Double Tap. Thanks for tuning in. We got a hodgepodge of subjects to cover today. So without further ado, Josh, shot over.
Shut out.
All right. So in the spirit of the holidays, I always get together with the family, play some poker games, play some buy-ins, some cash games, sometimes the old school change games. What's your favorite style or your favorite type of poker, and what type of betting? You like the house change games? You like some high limits? You like buy-ins? And what type of card play?
Well, my favorite game is poker. No, but from being my friend for quite a few years that I am not much of a poker player. I get on lucky streaks here and there where I play some good cards, but I definitely will never play high stakes games because I will throw up if I lose $20.
This is true. I've seen it actually.
I think I really enjoy because I've played with you and your family a few times. I think just the old $20 buy-in is how you guys normally do it, and I've always had a blast every time I've done that with you guys. So I'd have to go with that. I think just that $20 buy-in, and then I even think there was one time we played so late where we had a couple of rebuys, and again they were like 10 or 20 bucks a piece.
Yeah.
But
That's usually how it
it's
happens.
still good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing into the wee hours of the morning.
Yep. Good stuff. Yeah, I know. I've definitely seen you lose your shit on 20-40 bucks in Vegas and then just go run up a $400 bar tab.
Oh yeah. $400 at the bar.
I guess.
Yeah, it's par for the course, but $40 is on a fucking blackjack table.
Yeah, I had to pull you out of a deep depression there. I mean, we were gambling for roughly 14 minutes and you were just done day one. So no, I do remember that. I do. But no, the house games are fun. Like you said, 20 bucks. As long as you are decent, you can keep that rolling for a while. So it's always
Well,
fun.
yeah, but even those $20 games, some of the ones that you had, especially back in Lancaster, I mean, people would still walk away with $400 or $500 at the end of the night.
Oh yeah, if you get a couple tables going and people are drinking and they don't want to stop playing and they're just fucking donating at a certain point, it's like, hey man, are you sure? Yeah, another 20, another 40. Fucking all right. So yeah, it can get up there. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I just like to talk shit and drink for the most part, though. I think that's my favorite part of the whole evening.
Well, I'm a Jew, so I like the money part.
Yeah, that's racist.
Is it? I'm a Jew. I'm allowed to say it.
Yeah, true. Anyway, I got one for you. So Tyler, shot over.
Shot out.
All right, so we're both Army veterans. Actually, we're both forward observers. 13 Foxtrot, if you're feeling nasty. If you were going to do it all over again and a 13 Foxtrot was not available, you couldn't do it. Tell me, or say for instance, the Army wouldn't allow you to go 13 Fox. What would be the MOS that you would have chosen?
Well, when I went in, I knew I wanted to do fucking combat arms. I didn't necessarily think or care about something that would transition once I got out, or even a job that had longevity. I just wanted to go and, have fun and see if we could bust some heads. So with that being said, in that same regard, I would probably want to keep it combat MOS, even though knowing what I know now, you can get pretty good jobs when you get out if you go signal corps or medical field, things like that. But I couldn't do 19 series, and 13 Fox is the only thing I'd want to do in the 13 series. So I would just probably have to say 11 Bang Bang. That's what I had originally gone to the recruiter, talking to the recruiter about, and then they brought up 13 Fox and a signing bonus, and so I went that way. So I'd probably go with Bang Bang. That's what you go in for, is, at least in my mindset, is combat arms. So if I wanted to work at a desk, I just go get a regular job somewhere. But I went into, because I wanted to blow shit up or bust heads. So yeah.
Yeah, I think same. Well, I don't think, I know for sure. For me, I spent the majority of my career with the infantry. And all of my closest friends, besides you, are all infantry cats. So I love the being with the infantry.
Yeah. They're
Um,
fucking fun, that's for sure.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. I even, towards the end of my career, I had re-enlisted for more time, and I was going to school because my overall goal is to do the ROTC thing, or green to gold rather. And I was trying to go 11 series. That would have been my overall goals, go 11 series in the
Mhm.
officer ranks. But yeah, I'm going to get a bunch of flack from all my infantry buddies for this, for saying this.
If you wanted to, you could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be an infantryman. No, honestly, it's kind of true, as gay as it sounds.
No bullshit. I liked my job. I liked the theoretical version of my job. I just never really got to do my fucking job. My whole time deployed, I was with a fucking infantry platoon. We were walking the streets, So had I had the opportunity to really bust shit open, some badass fucking, calls for fire, that would have been fun. But after working with the 11 series, all the Bang Bangs, they are, you always get the stigma, Marines or Army, grunts, that they're like just, jarheads, and that they're the dumb ones, blah blah. They're actually the most fucking squared away ones, because they know that their jobs
Life or
are
death.
life or death. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're not the S1 cat, they're not the S3 cat that is late to formation, wearing the wrong shit, failing his fucking push-ups, whatever. Like, that guy knows that if he doesn't do his job, him or his buddy's gonna die. So with that regard, yeah, they are the most professional soldiers that I've ever fucking encountered, and they're a fucking laid back group of guys. Oh, bro, I'm talking about when it comes to job. Talking about when it comes to job.
Okay.
Not after COB.
Okay.
Not talking about after COB.
All right. Yeah.
But
So
when it comes to their job, those motherfuckers they're fucking squared away. And if they ain't, then they get hemmed up real quick, and they're out of there. So
yeah, I saw some of the highest GT scores in my entire career with infantry guys.
yeah.
They're all, well, not, like I said, not all of them, but a large majority, especially leadership, are very smart, squared away dudes.
Yeah.
But
SF is what? You have to have a 117 GT to even
110.
apply for, or 110
110, yeah.
to even apply for SF.
Yeah.
So
That would have been my overall goal. I would have wanted to, if I could do it all over again, start from scratch. Yeah, 11
X.
series. But I definitely wanted to be a weapons sergeant in the
old
Special
18
Forces
Bravo.
group. Yep, that would have been
Yeah.
That would have been fucking nice.
Yeah, it's hard when you're a young man and you're fucking like you have all these childhood idealistic fucking dreams, and then you get there, and at least for me, like I start fucking off immediately and kind of lose sight of that ideology. And I won't lie, I mean, there was a time there that I was, not the most squared away fucking soldier. Thank you, Korea. I guess probably anybody who's been to Korea could say that. But
What's the fastest way to make E5 in Korea?
go
there
there's an E6. Yeah. But yeah, you live and you learn. It would have been nice to have been more focused, and I mean, some cats, sometimes it's not about age. There are some guys that are just straight up fucking hard chargers from day one, but I kind of lost sight as we went on. Korea's fun, but you can go through your shit.
I don't know if you remember this, but I was on orders for selection twice. One time I know for sure you and Monica were still in Korea, but oh wait, were you guys there when they bombed the yeah, so
I remember going to the
briefing.
SF briefing. Yeah,
Yep.
you, me, and Kiani.
Yep. I was on orders. I signed up. I was on orders to go to selection. I have paperwork orders. I think I still have them around here somewhere in my paperwork. But the orders ended up getting canceled because North Korea bombed and sank that Korean ship, killed those 46 soldiers.
Yep.
And then again, the second time I was on orders, I don't know if it was because of the bombing of the island or me getting in trouble. I think it was probably me getting in trouble. And they took the orders away. I was
yeah.
I think that's the first of the Article 15s maybe, and they took the orders away from me. But yeah, that was the goal. And even once I got to Joint Base Lewis McChord after deployment, I was looking into trying to go to Ranger School. But that was like the beginning of the end for me. Once I got back from Afghanistan, divorce, deployment, lots and lots of alcohol. Yeah, just
life gets the best of you.
I wasn't in the mindset to do anything cool or high speed at that time.
Yeah, that's how it goes more often than not.
Yeah, but all my brothers in 11 series, I love you guys, and fuck you, because I know you're gonna make fun of me for saying I want to be an infantryman.
I wish I was a real boy.
Yeah. Well, you want to jump into this show for the evening, bro? Like, we got so much to talk about.
Let's do it.
So much to talk about. Let's give him something to talk about.
All right, let's do that so we can get this guy to stop fucking singing, huh?
All right, so how do you want to rock this shit? So there's been two huge I guess cases that have been taking place in front of the mainstream media. Only one of which that most of you have actually seen and heard anything about, and that would be the old Kyle Rittenhouse story. So what exactly is your take? Like, we all know what the outcome is. He was deemed to be within his full rights of self-defense. And for those of you who have been living under a fucking rock for the past 2 months, Kyle Rittenhouse, 17-year-old kid, was in Kenosha, Wisconsin during about Black Lives Matter rally, or I guess mobbing, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And he was there protecting a business. And in the course of doing so, he shot and killed 2 Caucasian males, and he wounded a third Caucasian male. Well, this caused an uproar, and somehow this became all about race. And so, he got charged with murder and went to court, and gives us something to talk about.
Yeah. So, just when you think like it couldn't get any dumber, you go and do something like this.
Totally redeem yourself.
Yeah. So a white guy kills 2 white guys and is a racist who hates black people. Like, I don't know how we come to this place, but it's infuriating. And I like, honestly, just talking about it makes me feel dumber, because if you believe that, there's no way that I can dissuade you. Like, you're willfully, like, cognitive dissonance. You're a fucking useful idiot. You want to be brainwashed and trained into this certain way of thinking that the media tells you, because I don't care if it was a Black Lives Matter protest riot, which it was. He didn't harm any Black people. So because the riot and the protest was of an organization that is for Black people, which it's fucking not. It's just another vice for
Race baiting
disunity and
yep.
race baiting, and for rich to get rich, such as the president of Black Lives Matter. She just bought like a $1.4 million fucking mansion in a white community.
And it's all been proven too that George Soros directly funds this
Oh yeah,
this organization. It's
you
one
look
of the
at-
richest white individuals in the entire nation.
yeah, you can look at any of the videos. They try and scrub, but they can't. Before any BLM movement, Antifa movement, protest / riot, you'll see the night before, a couple nights before, construction companies bringing out caged bricks, caged rocks, and setting them up every 10 fucking feet. You'll see guys videotaping bus loads of people getting shipped in. The mayor of DC set up a fucking park for Antifa to camp at, to get to stage all their shit. It's a complete mockery and theater at its best. It's just political theater. And the fact that you can say that somebody is a racist for killing somebody of his own race and saying that he's racist against another race is just it baffles me. Like, I can't wrap my fucking head around it.
My mind is in a bottle.
I'm in a glass case filled with emotion. So yeah, man, I'm glad that everything was presented correctly. I don't know what was up with the prosecutor.
I was just
don't-
getting ready to say it
the
doesn't
only-
it doesn't hurt that this prosecutor is the dumbest fucking prosecutor in the history of prosecuting.
Right. And that's the thing, though. That's what made me think about it, because I was like, well, wait a minute. If he was a good prosecutor, right, and was able to have Rittenhouse found guilty, I started thinking like the outcomes. What would that do? The BLM, the people that support the liberalism, that side, it would make those people who are crying for justice because Rittenhouse is a racist, it would make those people happy. And that's why the light bulb went on. I was like, oh, that's why they botched this whole fucking thing. He was never going to jail. They did it on purpose because they're going to get more of an outcry, more rage, more disunity with a not guilty fucking verdict. So I don't know if they just found the dumbest person in the world to be lead prosecutor, or if they just told this dude, hey, this one's going to be a pass. We're going to fucking, he's getting some kickbacks and you're going to take a hit on your fucking prosecution record, and just totally botch the fuck out of this thing. Because everything the guy said was just, and luckily the judge, called him out on all of it. And, but it was almost to the point where it was so blatantly obvious that, like, this kid's getting off, like, halfway through the trial. Like, it's like, there's no fucking question. Like, move for mistrial with the shit that is fucking going on almost. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, that's why. Like, that's what they want. They don't want to find him guilty, because then justice would be served in their eyes and they wouldn't have anything to be pissed about. So keep them pissed, botch it, let them off, and here you go. So it's just this never ending fucking cycle, and it's crazy. But the other guy you're talking about, was it Ahmaud?
Yeah, Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah, Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, you don't hear shit about that. The second that they find out justice is going to be served, everyone shuts the fuck up. I mean, I don't know if people are aware of that story, but this this black guy went into a house that was like under construction or whatever. There was no actual posted signs to stay away from property, no trespassing, anything like that. And so within the state law, he was within his rights. Nobody had asked him to leave, whatever. There was no signs posted and the house was vacant. So, and lots of people all the time go and look at houses that are under construction. You know, you get a new subdivision or whatever, and you want to go check out the layouts and stuff. I've done it myself. You know, it's vacant. You want to go check it out. So you walk through. If somebody asks you to leave, okay, you know, superintendent comes out, cop comes out, whatever. So anyways, these three white guys, and correct me if I'm missing anything, but these three white guys see him and, you know, short version, basically track him down freaking old school hillbilly style in a truck. I think two of them are in the back of the pickup with shotguns and chase him halfway down the street and execute the man, murder him, because they think that he's, you know, robbing or not where he's supposed to be or whatever.
Yeah,
And he
to
was
it
totally within his rights.
Yeah, to a certain degree. You have, you know, the basic points. I think one of the main things is that not only was he within his rights to check out the house, but they had cameras inside of the house. And I think he was in the inside of the actual structure of the property for like 5 minutes. And all of the cameras proved that he was there literally looking around.
Right,
And
not causing damage.
Right. At no point was he damaging anything. At no point was he touching anything or looking or trying to pick things up to take them out of the property.
Right.
And then I think the other main point is that it wasn't just a matter of them chasing him down. They tried to put him under citizens
arrest at
right.
first. That's right. Yeah.
So they had him with false imprisonment because they stopped him unlawfully.
Yeah, because he was within his rights. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they, at the end of the whole thing, I think he went for one of their guns because at some point he probably realized like these fucking idiots are going to turn out well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to just make my last play. He went for one of their guns and they shot him, murdered him. And I used the word murder intentionally because all of the facts, all of the case proves that these three men murdered this young guy.
Yeah.
And just so happens he's a black man. They're three white guys. And all three of them were found guilty of murder.
Why wasn't this plastered everywhere?
Exactly. And I think the sentence, or not the sentencing, but the verdict for the hearing was given like a week or two after the Rittenhouse, if I'm not mistaken. So, so the whole Rittenhouse thing. Oh,
you're right. We did talk about it not too long after. Yeah, a week or two.
Yeah, it wasn't a very long period of time. Like literally, Rittenhouse is still all over all of mainstream media.
And it's fucking crickets.
Yeah, you don't hear a fucking thing about it. Nothing comes out about justice being served, the justice system working properly. You know, not there being no racism involved in this case. Well, the initial them murdering the guy maybe did involve some sort of racism. And we on our platform have never at any point advocated or spoken up for anything. If it's wrong, it's fucking wrong. And these three guys seemingly murdered this guy because he was a black kid jogging through a neighborhood and decided to take a detour and look at a fucking house under construction.
Yeah man, it's crazy, but at the same time it's so blatant now, you know what I mean? There's just you expect it. It's like, okay, that doesn't fit the fucking agenda, so bury it, you know, can it, on to the next one. For every fucked up story that the media portrays, there's fucking thousands of, you know, people who got it right, judges that got it right, cops that got it right. No system is fucking perfect. We're humans, you know, like this isn't fucking binary fucking language. Like we all have, it's the human condition. We all have thoughts, feelings, emotions, different levels of education, different ways we process things. Shit's gonna get fucked up somewhere along the line when we interact with each other. That's human nature. But all they want to do is magnify the less than 1%, you know, and I'm not saying that all cops are gray. I'm not saying that cops don't need more training, but I'll tell you what doesn't fucking help cops get more training is fucking defunding them.
Yeah, I think that I've had several conversations with people that live in underprivileged neighborhoods. And in these conversations, and obviously a vast majority of those underprivileged neighborhoods are people of color. And in anybody that I've spoken to that had any sort of real intellect behind them, all said the same thing. Like, we cannot fix this issue taking police out of the neighborhoods. If anything, we need more of a presence. We just need cops to understand how and when and what they're patrolling. And I have been famous for saying this. If you're a friend of mine, you've probably heard me say this a bunch of times. You can't take little Timmy Johnson from fucking the rich suburbs and throw him in
Couple months of training.
Yeah, give him a couple months of training and throw him in the middle of the projects and expect him to know how to police that area. He does not know the culture. He does not know the way things happen there. Even with his training, with his minimal training, there's nothing that can prepare him for what the differences in life and culture and ways of doing things are between his,
His upbringing
and way of doing things and the upbringing of the people in these other underprivileged areas, because it's not the same. Most of these kids in these projects or low income areas are coming from an area with no father. I think 77%, I think the last number that I saw, I don't know if that's changed anytime in the recent past or is changing into the future, but I think it was 77% of all Black children are brought into a home that is a single female parent household with no fathers in the household. And I mean, it's scientifically proven that kids that grow up without a father have issues in school. They have issues with the law. They have issues, with the system in general. It's just because
anything authoritarian, because they never had that, been under that thumb of a father figure, and it has gone up drastically since the 40s, 50s, 60s.
I know that the
being
statistics
18 to 26% to nowadays it's roughly 78%.
I think the Black family had the highest percentage of nuclear families in the I want to say 40s or 50s. I think you're right with that number. But the Black nuclear family was the highest percentage family to stay together during that time frame. And I want to say it was sometime after Lyndon B. Johnson's bullshit
welfare.
That kind of started taking a turn. It's take the father out of the home, make
from the government into
the government provider. Into the provider, and that's what we'll do.
Yeah, it's between LBJ and his, what they did with welfare and the privatization of jails and how much money, these states don't pay a dime. These construction companies front all the construction costs. But you got to keep the prisons full because they're going to get their money on the back end. And until we really start looking at the actual problems, it's not black and white, it's just green. That's the only color. That's the fucking problem. It's never been about black and white. It's always been about rich and poor. They just want you to think that it's about black and white. But that's how they keep us fucking divided. And the corporations, the fat cats keep lining their fucking pockets while everybody's in the street fucking killing each other. And
bro, like
it never changes.
Yeah, like you said, bro, they make it about a color thing in those underprivileged neighborhoods. Like I said, a lot of those are neighborhoods of color. But if you look at places like, say, for instance, South Boston is predominantly fucking Irish.
Yeah.
And they're all suffer from some of the same issues because of lack of money. I think,
Lack of education, lack of,
South end of Chicago, I think, are some of the same demographics and same issues. In the South, I come from the North Carolina in a very poor area, and yeah, my biological family is definitely a bunch of poor fuck ups. So it's
Yeah, man.
it's definitely not a color issue. It's a money issue, and it's something that we have to start calling out or continue to call out.
Yeah, something, as long as we keep shaking the boat, I mean, you would hope in that idealistic mind frame that as long as you kept doing something that at some point it would change. I mean, it's nice to think that. I do hope that. But the more of a stranglehold that I see happening in all aspects of life, of government overreach, medical, financial, whatever it may be, it does get a little bit more disconcerting as time goes on, because I feel like everybody's so polarized. We've gotten to a point where there's not going to be like talking points, because I mean the talking points that we have today are so fucking irrelevant, and that's part of the reason why they control the narrative, because they want you talking about shit that doesn't fucking matter. And not that it doesn't matter, but things that aren't actually there and making you feel like they are, so that you can waste your fucking time arguing about it. But I think it's gotten to a point where everybody's so polarized and the government has such a stranglehold that it really feels like there's this climactic, like something big is going to have to happen to change shit. And I don't know if that's, another fucking Great Depression, because inflation is through the fucking roof, and we just approved another 2.3 trillion or some shit.
Yeah, 2.3 or 2.6. I know we just tied Greenland. I just read the article that we just tied Greenland as the highest country with highest inflation in the world. Craig.
In the world, Craig. Yeah, and everybody fucking sees it. They see it. They see it at the grocery stores. They see it at the pumps. Well, I mean, a lot of what they see at the pumps is because Biden's first day he shut down the fucking Keystone Pipeline. But you go to, there was a restaurant owner talking about how 12 months ago, this fucking giant wholesale bag of flour that he got was, how much was it? It was like $35, and within 3 months it had gone up to $75, and currently it was at like $112. And he's not gonna bear all of that himself. That's gonna be pass-through tax, and your cheeseburger is gonna fucking double in price, and all of your essentials that you need to buy are gonna go up in price, and all your luxury taxes and your fucking carbon taxes, because God knows we have to be charged for fucking breathing. Everything's gonna keep fucking going up. And we've only had taxes like this for the last, I tell everybody, it's been it's 2021. We've had taxes for 108 years, since 1913. We were fine before then, but until we can really make it through these government programs and these government entities and cut out all the fucking fat, and they stop spending, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. Cause and effect. We can't keep spending and printing like this and not have something happen. I mean, this is just the beginning, and just wait until 2022, 2023, when those interest rates start going up again, when all these student loans, all these deferments are due, I think next January.
Yep,
It's coming.
We'll see a big old bust in the bubble.
Yeah, man, it has to. You can only go.
Well, I don't know.
Go up for so long.
I don't know how you feel about it, but it does seem as though people are starting to wake up to a certain degree, I guess. I mean, and these are very small things that I'm going to say, but let's say, for instance, the "Let's Go Brandon" chant. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That "Let's Go Brandon" song that was made by the guy was the number one
Number
fucking
one.
selling.
Over
And
Adele.
yeah, over Adele, right? And that's not just white conservative gun owners buying that song.
Right.
You know, that's
That's
everybody.
a majority right
Yeah.
there.
Say for instance, what's going on at CNN right now. Chris Cuomo just got booted. Don
Yep.
Lemon looks like he's on the verge of getting booted. I think 2 or 3 producers within CNN are being investigated for child pornography. Like,
Mhm. Oh, they've quietly been rounding people up in the media, in Hollywood, in state and federal level positions, and of course, media is not going to cover any of it. But yeah, that Maxwell case is starting to drop some heavy shit. And I also thought it was kind of funny that when that trial started, we had another school shooting. I literally, every time something like the Maxwell trial starts, I always talk to you or my cousin Shane or Monica, like, here we go again. We're gonna get some other false flag, like some other kids are gonna get shot, and every fucking time, every time. So
happens. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's it's scary when you can start to predict shit. That's when you know, like, I'm not that fucking smart. Like, I didn't do this much research. I just have attention span longer than that of a goldfish. And so when fucking shit starts looking the same every couple months, I mean, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, I don't think it's a fucking pig, you know?
Yeah, dude. It's I think that, like you said, the writing's on the wall. Something's gonna happen, but it's just a matter of when. I don't know if the nation holds on to 2022. I think I was just talking to my uncle about this today. I think that we're gonna see the biggest change in Congress and Senate that we've ever seen.
Yeah,
And,
man.
because I think people are just fed up, you know.
Yeah. A lot
Nobody-
of the old school classic Democrats that aren't with this progressivism or might have been at first, but then now see how crazy it is. And they're like, whoa, I got to pull
Yeah.
back.
Well, even the
Yeah.
people that don't follow politics, like I just my kids came out from California, and their dad brought them here, so they all still, these are my stepkids, so they go back and forth between here and their dads in California. Well, their dad brought them out here, and I had a short, brief conversation with him about gas prices in Lancaster, California, which is the northernmost portion of or the northernmost
LA
area
County.
of LA County. Gas prices were $5.78 a gallon.
Are you serious?
So your average person that works at fucking Marshalls or 7-Eleven or wherever the fuck, they can't afford to put gas in their cars at $5.78 a gallon.
I don't know.
So I mean, people are gonna vote on that shit. Like, I ain't trying to pay $5.78 a gallon to fill my fucking car up.
Yeah, and I think that that's where they fucking they really shot themselves in the foot, because day one they had this fucking Alzheimer's patient just signing away orders like left and fucking right. And I think that in doing that, it showed such a massive black and white fucking change in such a short time frame, to where they were like, fuck, we had Trump, everything was like, you know, COVID, I get it, but like still kind of okay. And then all of a sudden it's a fucking slap in the face within the first, 60 days of Biden coming in. And so people are like, wow, yeah, this doesn't fucking work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've depressed our listeners for
So we
long
say
enough.
that, yeah, we say all that just to say, get ready. It's always good to be prepared. I'd rather be prepared and have nothing happen than have something happen and not be prepared. So speaking of that, it's fucking open season, baby, and we's going deer hunting.
Yeah, in the spirit of being an old Texan nowadays, we're gonna get on out there in the fields and try and bag us old whitetail.
By golly.
So we just went on Black Friday and got us a couple old pew pews, as my 3-year-old would call them, pew pew. Tyler got himself a 308 Savage Axis hunting rifle.
Yes, I did.
I picked myself up old Hellcat because I already have my hunting rifle. But yeah, man, I did a little bit of hunting when I was a kid, but the last time I think I went hunting, I was like 18 years old. So definitely something I was really eager and really wanting to get into, even back in California, because we have a mutual friend whose father-in-law is a big game hunter, and we spoke to him a couple of times, and we were even planning to do something with him at some point. It just never came to fruition. But since we've been out here in Texas, we've really been trying to focus some attention because we both want to get out there in the old thicket.
Yeah, man, get out there in the bush and find us something. I mean, to be honest, I mean, so I don't mind. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to fucking tag a deer. I've never gotten to shoot a fucking deer. Never, I've shot I've gone bird hunting, never really done any big game. So yeah, it'd be fun, but man, just getting out there in the outdoors, getting away from all these fucking electronics and these four fucking walls. It's like fishing to me. I go out on my fucking boat and I'll sit there for fucking 10 hours and drink beer, not catch one fucking fish, and be happy as a fucking clam when I come home. No fucking stress, just outside listening to the fucking birds, just I don't know, there's a huge reset in being outdoors. I mean, that's what we were before this fucking industrial movement or revolution into the technology fucking revolution of the 90s. You were fucking outside, and there's a huge connection, I think, to depression and the way we work nowadays. So I'm super stoked, super excited. Can't wait to fucking get out there. I did get a badass fucking deal, Black Friday fucking special on that Savage. So I already got the packing grease off of her, got her oiled up, ready to fucking get out there and freeze my ass off and eat some beef jerky and see what we can see, man.
Yeah, man. I feel the same way. And I think especially over this COVID issues, and then even moving into this new job, I'm so I don't. I've said this to a couple of people. Like my whole spirit has changed since I've been in Texas. I don't have the anxiety and the stress that I had when I was living in California, but I am working full time, 100% remotely from home. So there are days when I probably don't get out of my pajamas. I just work on the computer, so I don't really have to do. And that it definitely takes a toll after a couple of days of not leaving the fucking house.
Really does.
And I think getting out there in the old woods, hopefully getting some old deer meat put in the freezer is going to be a big time reset. And then like fucking hunting and fishing here in Texas is like the first day of deer season is like a damn holiday out here.
Oh, it is an unofficial 100% holiday out here. Yeah, the fucking gas stations are packed full of every fucking pickup truck you can name, with fucking everyone's getting ice and beer and jerky and fucking just a sea of fucking camouflaged people running around. It's fucking awesome. But when you realize like it's not even just a hobby or a sport, it's actual, like, it's something you can pass down to your kids. And it's also not just sustainment, which is I think what it is first and foremost, obviously survival, but it's also a way for you to not just decompress. But I was even thinking about it, talking to Monica, like, if we really get involved in every hunting season, and it comes to fishing, I love fishing. Took you out last time, caught a nice little blue cat. If you become a year-round outdoorsman, hunting, fishing, you can really fucking start supplementing a lot of your grocery bill. And maybe a lot of people are blessed enough to make a shit ton of money and don't give a fuck, and this ain't for you. But if you think about it, especially for our vets, I mean, we get that super combo. We get our hunting and fishing license for free with like 4 antlered deer, 3 antlerless deer, I think 4 turkeys, and a fucking red drum. it's really freaking cool to be able to get all this stuff for free as vets.
I
I
think
mean,
as it progresses, though, we are going to have to expend some money in probably like a land lease if we want to like.
yeah, as we get more into it, yeah, I know we're
Yeah.
doing it where we want to go. Yeah, for sure. But you know, you take all those tags that you get for free, and then add into that, you know, damn near year-round fishing. I mean, out here you can't fish in like January, February, and like March. You know, it's pretty cold then. But once you start budding up in April, it's back on. So you can really get to a point where your meat bill can be supplemented pretty heavily on, you know, shit, man. Deer, javelina, hog, squirrel, little squirrel stew,
Squirrel, rabbit.
some rabbit, yeah. And then, you know, you get your catfish, your trout, your you know, 8,000 different species of fish. But yeah, I'm starting to see like you know, you don't have to work so much for money for a paycheck and then go buy things. Like there's plenty of places where you can, okay, maybe don't have to work as much because, you know, I can supplement, you know, $3,000 worth of meat a year in wild game and fish, you know. So it's really, it's a double-edged sword to where you're able to not just provide, but it's also a huge stress relief for you because instead of sitting in a cubicle, you know, you're out there in the fucking woods doing what you're meant to do.
Plus these for those of you that haven't eaten wild game and venison and even squirrel, like I went home to North Carolina for a funeral few months back, and then I had another one here recently. But the one that I went to a couple months back, they had he had made one of the old guys that I grew up around made a squirrel stew, and it's one of the best things I've ever eaten in my fucking life. Like it's just it's an old country fellow with
Yeah,
a fucking, I would say like a 15-quart pot full of just squirrel stew. So you
probably a
probably,
150-year-old fucking family recipe too.
yeah, you probably went out and shot, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 squirrels
Hmm.
to get a substantial amount of meat to put in that stew, but it was freaking delicious. Same
Yeah,
thing goes for rabbit. Like I said, venison has its own unique flavor, but it's delicious, and there's so many
yeah,
different
I
cuts
like
of
it.
meat. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what people don't get, like, especially people from the fucking city when they think of squirrels or raccoons and stuff like that. They're like, oh, those motherfuckers, you know, they fucking eat trash and dog shit in the park and whatever the fuck else. Like, not talking about that variety. You know, when you go out into the fucking woods, you're getting animals that live on fucking leaves and delicious berries and everything else. So yeah, it's a little bit
Nuts.
more
Yeah.
earthy, you know, of a taste. But if you go and harvest your own animal, you know where it's coming from. It's not been processed with all this crazy shit, and it's fucking good. It's, you know, your body knows how to digest it a lot fucking better because it hasn't been shot full of bunch of crazy shit. Um, it's a sense of pride, you know, something you can pass down to your kids. And I mean, we think about food and fire, you know, I mean, that is every culture on the planet has that at its roots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it was survival. And so I think that's such a huge connection to the human soul. If you're going and hunting or fishing or cooking, there's so many things to be passed down in all of those aspects, from, you know, from the forest to the table, or from the lake to the table, that are that have been lost. And
Oh,
what
bro.
is a huge issue with our health as well because of how processed and fucked
All of
up
our
everything
food is.
is nowadays.
Yeah, but just since Vanessa and I have been out here, man, we've so we live about an hour and 15 away from you. You're in Tyler's up in the Fort Worth area. I'm down south of him about an hour 15 minutes. I'm a little further off the beaten path than he is. And there's farms everywhere that you can get fresh vegetables from. It's all locally grown. Most of them don't have the organic tags because it's too expensive to fucking do that shit.
Yeah.
But so say for instance, one of the farms that we've been going to recently, he says like, look, we don't have the income to pay for the organic tagging, but everything we use is all natural. Nothing is sprayed with pesticides. It's just natural homegrown stuff. And they make some of the most delicious. We've been buying these jars of corn relish, bro. And bro, I'm telling you, when I tell you I can eat the shit out of the fucking jar with a spoon, it's phenomenal. It's just like you said, it's those family recipes passed down for generations and generations, and they've just got it, man, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything fucking better, man.
And I put that shit on everything.
You gotta bring some of that relish over next time.
Yeah, we've been getting it from. Well, there's like this antique thing that we go to that they set up a little booth and sell from, but they have an actual farm. That you can go straight to the farm. They say you shoot them a call and you can come take vegetables right out of the ground if you want to, or you can get they do relish. They do, you know how they have the spicy carrots and jalapenos in California?
Oh, the melody. Yeah.
Yep. They have that. They have sauerkraut. They have,
oh yeah.
Oh man, they have all the good stuff. And then they have like 1,000 different assortments of jams and jellies. They have like a strawberry habanero jam. They'll do like a almond butter, like a homemade almond butter. It's just it's delicious.
Sounds bomb. Now I'm hungry. I'm always hungry, but now I'm really hungry.
Yeah, after I get off this podcast, I'm gonna go smash some ice cream. Also locally purchased, locally made vanilla ice cream.
Delicious. That's awesome.
Yeah, bro. Oh, so we also wanted to talk a little bit about the holiday season. You know, Christmas is coming up, and for most people, it's one of the most wonderful times of the year. For others, it's one of the most stressful points of the year. For us at Double Tapped, you know, we're kind of in the middle. I think Tyler and I both are of the same mindset that we're not going to work our entire year so we can blow millions of dollars on Christmas. It's more so for us about sitting back and actually enjoying the time with the family, because us both being in aerospace, we get roughly 2 weeks off at the end of every year because the government kind of shuts down.
Yeah,
so
that
Tyler,
is pretty nice.
What are your plans with the Fam Bam over the holiday?
Well, pretty low key. We do some little things here and there. Maybe take a couple little night trips. Yeah, I think like Christmas Eve, Christmas is just gonna be a little church, come home, watch some Christmas movies. Christmas morning we'll open up some gifts and go over to my parents' house we always do Christmas breakfast. That's our tradition. Homemade well, not homemade biscuits, but homemade country gravy and yep, and some good Italian sausage with peppers and onions. And yeah, man, that's about it. We're just gonna hang out and chill. And then I think you and I a couple days later might try our hand before the season closes there on some deer. But that's about it.
Oh yeah, brother. Well, we got informed, Vanessa and I did, that when we moved into this house, we have some neighbors down the street. And when we met them for the first time, they said that they were really good friends with the previous owners. And the previous owners were, I won't say exactly who they were, but it was a very well-known law enforcement official that lived here with his wife. And I guess one of the neighbor is a firefighter. So he had to work on Christmas Day. So the people that lived in this house invited the wife and children to come down to celebrate Christmas morning and do a Christmas breakfast. So they told us when we met them, they're like, "Hey, I hope you make a good Christmas breakfast, because it's been our tradition for the last 15 years to come over every Christmas morning."
Wow. Josh is like, can I get that recipe, Tyler?
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. That's cool though. Yeah, I did like your neighborhood. Your neighbors seemed pretty nice. It's definitely all nice and wooded. You get much deer around the house?
I haven't seen any, but I think it's because right across, right across the street from the house, it's completely wooded. There's no house. I mean, there's houses, but they're spread apart so far that there's huge thickets of nothing but woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you can hear deer walking around back
Walking,
there.
yeah.
And I think the last time you came out, you're like, bro, you should take a flashlight and just shine it out there. I guarantee
At
you'll see.
nighttime. Oh yeah.
You'll see the eyes.
Yep.
So
You
yeah,
see the green.
I haven't seen one personally. I'll tell you what I did see. One of the like the second or third time I came out to see the house, I saw a fucking bird fly into a tree, and it was the size of a penguin. And I said, you definitely got to be careful with letting my chihuahua go outside to use the bathroom, because she be going.
Oh yeah.
She be going real quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they got, I mean, everything's bigger in Texas, right? Yeah, they got some massive fucking birds of prey out here.
Yeah, but come to find out, I guess it's a family of owls that lives back there. The enormous fucking owls. But
Yeah.
on top of the owls, I have seen myself here in Texas a handful of times, hawks on the freeway or off to the
Mhm.
off the road, just swoop down and grab a rat and fucking take off.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty prominent out here.
Yeah, man. The wildlife is abundant out here. Everything wants to sting you or bite you or eat
ya.
you if they can.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it though. I can't wait to actually get out there and see the get off the beaten path and
See what we can see.
See what we can see. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully we see a deer. If not, whatever, we got beer.
Yeah, I'm excited too, brother. And I tell you what, man, for those of you that support the show, I want to, give my most humble thank you. I'm sure Tyler feels the exact same way, and thank you so much
Definitely.
for going along with us. I know we've had a pretty long break, but here moving forward, I think into January, until we start getting a better cadence, we're going to start doing 2 of these a month.
Yeah.
So we'll do one every 2 weeks. Once we start getting, because I just found out we're going to have some guests coming on, probably hopefully towards the beginning of the year, February, March timeframe, I'm assuming. But these some of these guests are pretty prominent guests. So once we get those, we will probably start doing something once a week again. But until we start getting some of that stuff lined out, we're going to start doing 2 of these a month. And again, thank you guys for supporting us. We're going to keep pushing everything out. We ain't done. We ain't quitting.
We're still here.
Yeah, we just took a little break. It's like I said, to move from California, to start a new job, remodel a house. All of that at one time is a lot. So the podcast took a little bit of a reprieve for just a minute, but we right back in the saddle.
Yep, that's right. This will probably be our last one of the year. So until we meet again, everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay safe out there. As always, if holidays, if you're one of those people that ain't got much family or whatever, don't hesitate. Our veteran community, or even if you're not a vet, you want to reach out, please don't hesitate to use us as an outlet.
Yep. You can email us at dtf2s@gmail.com at any time, and we go through those emails and we will definitely get back to you. So like Tyler said, this is amongst the time of joy. This is also a time of sadness for a lot of people if they don't have family, if they're going through something. Suicide's never the way. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yep.
So on that note, we love you guys. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all of the above. We'll see you on the back end, or actually, I guess on the front end. And
on the front end. Old 2022, here we come.